We go. That was one person that was there. Let's speak to another couple, shall we? So the Northamptonshire group Sends for Dads. They campaign for more support for dads and male carers of children with special educational needs. And in the studio with me, Paul Meadows and Michael Swain. Good morning, both.
Morning. Good morning.
And Paul, this is your baby, Send for Dads, really, isn't it?
Yes,
so you set
is.
this up.
Yeah, I set it up over 10 years ago. It's totally grown since then.
So how did it start? This is from your personal experience?
Yes, from my own personal experience. So I went through like a period of mental ill health. I then thought, well, what support would be good to kind of get. Noticed that if the groups that were about were mainly focused on mums, and if a dad was there, then he was kind of dragged along or didn't really participate much in it. So I thought I'll either sit and wait for someone or actually go ahead and do it. So it started off as a monthly meet at the pub. COVID hit, and then it's just gone absolute. Yeah, it's gone really busy since then.
So give me an idea of how. I mean, how many members have you got?
I mean, we've basically got over 1,000 followers on Facebook. We've got over 100 on our email address, and we've got about 50 odd in our WhatsApp group. Wow. And we chat about all different things. So,
and Michael, your involvement, when did that come in?
So mine come in round about December the year before last, wasn't it? I'm going up to 2 years now. I was going through a period myself of a bit of depression and anxiety. I was a bit of a low point. I was relatively new to Northampton, so I didn't have any friends or family contact. My partner got me in touch with a local football support group for my little girl Eva. And he noticed how I was and introduced me to Paul, because we work quite closely with them. And it was pretty much a bit of a snowball effect. I went along to one of the pub nights feeling very, very nervous, anxious. The guys were absolutely fantastic. A warm, welcome bunch of guys, and just kept approaching me, chatting to me. If I was quiet, leaving me to it to just find my own way. And it just kind of built up from there.
Because I suppose, and this is what people say, that men typically aren't as good as talking about feelings.
That's right. I mean, there's a stigma around it. Me growing up, it was very much the same with my old man. He was very much, you haven't got a problem, you just get to put up with it. And I think that stigma is still around today, and it makes it difficult for dads, carers, anyone, especially when you've got a child, for example, with neurodiversity, to actually speak up if you've got mental health issues yourself, because you don't want to be coming across as weak, because we're expected to shoulder the burden and just plough through. And without the support, I mean myself personally, without the support I've had from the guys in the group, I do wonder sometimes where it'd be, be completely at rock bottom, not able to help.
Wow. And Paul, just listening to that must make you feel proud of what you've done.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there are quite a few dads where, that have, got to that point, and, they do say that, if it weren't for the group, they wouldn't be here. And I even have like mums and wives and all that get in touch and say, look, if it wasn't for this group, don't know what would have happened to our family. And hearing stuff like that really does kind of make everything worthwhile over the last few years.
Well, and you've passed me the booklet that you took down to Parliament last week, so Dads and Male Carers, the Invisible Crisis, and actually it talks about this, and it points out the fact that the suicide rate among men is it's scarily high. Yes. Isn't it? That's why groups like you do exist. So tell me about what last week was. It was last week you went down?
Yes. Yeah, last week.
Was that your first time at Westminster?
I'd been down previously for that, but for the group, it was our first time having like a parliamentary drop-in. So I was there on the Monday for the round table, and then the Tuesday we had event just for the dads, which was all the MPs kind of like
what
dropping in.
Like?
It was 2 hours of quite intense kind of meeting and talking. It was quite tiring because you are starting to concentrate. I mean,
yeah, it was. I mean, we'd already spent a day and a half beforehand mentally trying to prep ourselves and getting out and about, seeing the sights. On the Monday, while Paul was at the round table, we was invited to a food tasting session that was being held in Parliament, which was quite intense in itself, meeting some of these people, feeling kind of like it was a different world. You're not supposed to be there. It was a bit weird, but
feeling like a bit of a spare part.
But I think as the day went on, personally for myself, after speaking to the first couple of MPs, it then kind of become quite comfortable and natural speaking to them, because you soon realise that actually everyone who's coming to see us, a lot of them had their own backstory, which you don't hear about, you don't see. And it's incredible to see just how many people, especially some of the men we met there, who have got a backstory that ties in so well with what we do, which you don't hear about because it's that old stigma of keeping it quiet.
And the ultimate aim is for you to make it easier for parents with children with special educational needs. Are you confident that that's going to happen?
Well, it's quite promising, even getting that kind of opportunity to do it. And I have been kind of emailing and still talking with Lee Barron's kind of assistants and Lucy Rigby's assistants, because whilst we're there, a lot of the MPs said, you should come down again and keep doing this to get the momentum. So hopefully they're going to look at possibly autumn and us doing another drop in, so to speak, so we can get out to even more MPs.
Great. Are you children aware of what you're doing?
Yeah.
my little lady Eva's quite infamous within the Sense for Dad group. She's only 5, bless her, but such a character. But she absolutely loves what we're doing. And had to FaceTime us a few times, didn't she, while we was down there to see some of the sites and give us a bit of a G up. I think you're to
I got both my son Connor and my daughter Kaylee got in touch with me, because at the actual day when we did it, because we was also on ITV as well. They come down specially to come film us there, so they'd seen all those side of things as well. So
very good. Well, you're definitely getting it noticed, aren't you? Which is great. So it's Send for Dads if people want to find it on Facebook and all sorts.
Paul,
Michael, thanks ever so much for coming in.
Thank you very
much.